In this video I'm going to do a mini behind the scenes of a recent Channel 4 documentary that I worked on. The documentary is centred around Bill Thomas and his 40 years of service within South Yorkshire Police. He was actually the first black police officer within South Yorkshire Police, and it talks about some of the racial issues that were surrounding that time, as well as the Orgreave mining closure and some of the effects that surround that event.
My name's Bill Thomas. I hold the great esteem of being the first black male officer in South Yorkshire Police. Had I known that I was going to be the first in, I may have reconsidered.
I worked as the drone pilot on this documentary, and how the opportunity came about was basically someone was talking to me about renting some equipment, and this is the thing that I'm trying to bear in mind, and everyone should bear in mind. You just never know who you're talking to sometimes, and it was Alex Thomas, the director of this documentary, and he went, "Oh, do you do drone as well?" And I just said yeah, and he just booked me on this project, which was an amazing feeling, and I'm very grateful really to have worked on such a cool project. So I think it just shows that you just be polite all the time really, just because you never know who you might be talking to. And so the day started off with myself driving to Orgreave to get some shots of the housing estate, which now sits where the man used to live. And it was a bit frustrating at first just because we had to wait an hour until it stopped raining, but eventually it stopped raining, and we were able to get some quite cool shots of the area, and also some shots of Bill walking around the area just thinking, contemplating different things, which works quite well with interview shots in terms of B-roll shots to make the story more interesting. Prior to this documentary I had quite a rough week because I had my car stolen, and so that wasn't really fun, and I just managed to rush and get a new car, which was good. And unfortunately I think what happened were the car had been sitting in the garage for basically months before it got sold, and the car battery won't have charged up. So I think that's what happened, the car battery just died. I'm doing some drone footage for Channel 4 today for a documentary about mining, so it should be pretty cool. Just show you a new tour of my new car. So yeah, it's got a touch screen. If it works, if I turn the engine on. That's where we're filming at. But luckily Bill, the lead person in the documentary, goes in his car and gets some jumpers out, and he jump starts my car. I think that just shows the guy's really kind, and I'm really grateful for that, just because it helped me to get to the next location and get some more drone shots. The main piece of advice I'll give everybody is just to trial and error with different drone shots, just because I'll admit sometimes I'll not know how to do a particular shot first, but I'll just trial and error and do it a few times. And definitely in the DJI app there's a lot of quick shots you can use, such as parallax, circle, and that sort of thing, and sometimes it doesn't work, as you can see with this example here where I was just got in shot. But it's just about trial and error and trying different things, and seeing what can work really. You can even do time-lapse shots and that sort of thing, and it worked quite well for this shot here. But if I wouldn't have tried it I wouldn't have known, and in the end I decided to do a following shot. This is quite simple. You go in the DJI app and you go to quick shot modes, and they draw a circle around the subject, and from there it will track the subject. Do keep in mind though, when you're using the quick shot modes, effectively the drone is in autopilot mode, so you're not manually flying the drone, so be very careful because it won't pick up obstacles and that sort of thing. So it's quite important to have your button over the cancel, just in case it gets near any obstacles or objects. For anyone interested in the camera specs for the documentary, it was shot on the Sony FX9 primarily, and for the drone I used the Mavic 2 Pro. I'm still waiting for my Mavic 3 Pro, which might take quite a bit of time, but stay tuned for that because I'll be doing a review of the drone. And it was also shot on the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro for a few scenes, just as a secondary camera. We also did some filming at Barnes & Main as part of the documentary. Unfortunately this footage didn't get into the final documentary, but I just thought I'd share it anyway, just some behind the scenes footage really of what could have been, I guess. One of my other main tips for getting drone footage is, as well as trial and error, get as much drone footage as possible, get a variety of different shot types and angles, just because the editor might want a particular shot, and if you're like, oh I didn't get that, it doesn't look very good. So get a variety of different shots, because sometimes you can make mistakes, as you can see here with the drone in shots. Definitely watch out for shadows and that sort of thing. Also be sure to watch out for random people who just walk into your shot. With this example I was just like, no! because we were running out of time really, and I just wanted to get the shot, but you just got to be patient sometimes and just go again, and we managed to get the shot. Alex suggested that a really good shot idea would be able to get a shot of Bill on the bridge where the Orgreave rioting took place, just because we actually have the original photo of him on the bridge, and the shot turned out alright, but actually this is where the Mavic 3 would have came in if it was released at the time, because I'd be able to crop in and zoom in with a telephoto lens to get a close-up shot, and obviously because of health and safety I couldn't get too close to the bridge, but it still turned out to be an alright shot. But I'm glad I'm getting the Mavic 3 now, and look forward to doing the review of that drone. Just to finish this video off, I'm going to touch upon the final scene that I was involved with in terms of the filming. It was really great just because the officers and all members of the police force hadn't seen each other in many years, so to see their reactions and having a catch up, it was really great.
All good? Where's the big man himself? Okay.
Yeah. When you're making a documentary, you want it to be real life, and it's not like a narrative film where you can we get another take, so you just have to be ready, and we didn't really want to interfere with how the action was being captured and to catch it really in real time. Just to finish this video off, I just want to say a massive thank you for Alex for giving me this opportunity, and I think it's fantastic. And I think in general as well, in terms of the film industry, I think that, not to say that not a lot of productions happen in Yorkshire, but I'm glad that a lot of Yorkshire-based crew was used for this production, just because the story's about Yorkshire, and it'd be a bit weird sending London crew down to make a film about Yorkshire. And I think that's quite important, because I think there's a lot of stories that in Yorkshire that need to be told really. I know there were some complaints with Channel 4, Channel 5 that they're making too many stories about Yorkshire, but I think they need to make more stories about Yorkshire, to be honest, especially if it gives me some work. But definitely give the documentary a watch, and let me know what you think in the comments.
I want to say a massive thank you for watching this, and if you like drone behind the scenes and anything related to drone, consider subscribing. Thank you.